Hello everyone, I told myself that I would never cover Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in this sort of way. I made a point about this on Twitter saying, I actually don't cover this game for the very reason that the internet is a vile place that doesn't allow nuance, opinions other than negative, and hates anyone who doesn't follow along like a sheep. I'd rather just enjoy SS on my own than be told I'm wrong, so I'd rather avoid it. And then I retweeted it and said I'd rather dislike it on my own or find it mid on my own instead of just being forced by a bunch of basement-dwelling window lickers. So my point is, right, I don't know how you get windows in a basement, but, shut up. But then I had to talk about this, and you'll understand why. So there was a leak a little while ago, well, supposedly, and it was basically going over the story details. All right, this is just one example of it, but I think it's important to just quickly flick through them, right? So if you want to pause, you can. I don't want to obviously go through them all because then that'll be pretty much the whole video just to kind of debunk it. So it's obviously up to you if you want to pause it super quick. But there's a lot of stuff here that is pretty much the full shebang. Well, at least you would think that it's the full shebang, but it's not. It's not. But people saw this, got immediately angry about it. Obviously, Dreamcast guy being an example. My friend Podcast Now's, he's good to go. K Nightwing, more like right wing. Am I right? Sorry. Suicide Squad leak ruins entire Arkham series. Things like that, right? But then the guy who made the original leak, okay. Very interesting. Miller posted this. He's doing a full story coverage on the corrections of the leak. Okay. Reposting this on behalf of the original leak who doesn't have a Reddit account. I am the person who wrote the original leak, which Mr. J reposted to the subreddit along with the audio. I can confirm pretty much everything Miller is saying about the leak being misleading is correct, because Miller said it was misleading. The story summary is an awful, bastardized retelling of the story which I regret writing. As Miller has said, the leak is based entirely off of story cutscenes which I found in the game files. At the time, my method of finding these cutscenes was awful, so the ones I was listening to were incomplete or out of context. Furthermore, I skimmed through these cutscenes and didn't pay close attention. I then recited it the next day in a private Discord server, which is why I put so little effort into the summary. The general structure of the leak is correct, and most of the major events do happen. However, alright, so the leak isn't fake, but listen to this. However, a lot of the details declared as facts was speculation on my part or me just trying to fill in gaps of my own knowledge. For example, the leak says that Harley mutilates Batman, but this doesn't happen. She just suggested it in some dialogue. The leak also says they have a contest over who kills Batman. That never happened. The leak also says they find Tim Drake's corpse in the Batcave. That isn't confirmed, just implied by the cutscene when they find a Batman recording. Superman doesn't go to Krypton because it's destroyed. Could have told you that myself, but I also completely omitted certain plot lines such as Earth 2 Luthor hiding from Earth 1 Waller. Additionally, since the leak was based only off cutscenes from the main story, it is missing stuff that happens in the post-game Season 0 content as well as the upcoming DLC seasons. Since writing this leak, I have found out something major which happens in one of the post-game story content which completely recontextualizes the entire story of the game. I won't spoil what that is since I've already ruined enough of this game's surprises. I actually think you should, because anyway. I should have written this weeks ago when the story summary first got reposted here, but when people started debunking it for its obvious faults, I chose not to. I'm sorry for completely mischaracterizing the game's story. It was not my intention to shit on this game's story as I love Arkham, but that has certainly been the effects of this leak. If you read the leak, please disregard everything about it. While some of it is true, enough is wrong that it is overall just misinformation. And then Miller is doing what he is doing as well. Now, of course, people are on some reverse Copium, all right, because they want this game to fail. All right, a live service game in my Arkham. So obviously people are a little upset. So for example, after this leak, we literally got proper leaks with audio. It doesn't look good, so this is irrelevant, to be honest. What this person's referring to is there was a Batman audio thing of him talking to Harley before, a gunshot went off and he hit Superman. Now, the reason that I was not angry about any of that is because it's all... I'm going to get rid of that because it's making me laugh. Is because it's all context, right? It's all everything surrounding the events of the Suicide Squad game. And how it plays with it and things like that. Are they actually dead? Is it implied? Like, what's the situation surrounding these moments? Because Audio's one thing, right? It's actually watching what happens. I think that this person is a twat. I'll be completely real for doing that. I feel like they're a dickhead for just letting that entire leak go out like that, ruining all the developers' momentum that they've been trying to build up, because people already didn't give this game a fair shake anyway, let alone putting out this sort of really, like, it was very morbid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was very purposefully saying, like, this game's really depressing, it's morbid, and it's blur and blur and blur. And you just give, you know what I mean? No one's going to give it a fair shake. And I just think that's really unfair. Because I'll be honest, I watched The Insider the other day, and they were talking about gear and stuff like that. And it sounds absolutely nuts. Actually sounds good. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like this person said, I knew the leaks were sketchy because it sounded like the audio from different cutscenes was put together, because Batman says you think you're a team now, and that was in the Arkham Museum mission near the start of the game. That's actually a great point. I never thought about that. That's an amazing point. It's very interesting, actually. But no, you know, like, yeah, I don't know, man. Look, at the end of the day, listen, I don't actually have much skin in the game. I'm not a massive DC guy. I'm not a huge DC guy, right? The Arkhamverse, you know, it's video games. Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to play Marvel's Avengers, right? If I can play that, I can play this. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that, you know, more people need to know about this. They need to look at what Miller's going to be posting tomorrow. They need to go through it themselves and need to make up their own mind. You know, because I think at the end of the day, this game's already getting a unfair shake. Allow yourself to maybe relieve some of this whole depression that you've got over the Batman, all right? Because, you know, again, Kevin Conroy wouldn't do it, or, you know, if he wasn't, you know, feeling up to it. But I know I'm going to get called a shill anyway, so who cares? Who fucking cares?